afternoon, everyone. I'm Jacqueline Graves. I'm going to be your host for today. Thank you so much for joining us at our Red, White, and Blue Political Forum. I would ask that you help me to welcome the Davis County High School RLTC, who will be having our presentation of colors, immediately followed by the Star Spangled Banner from the Owensboro High School Chorale. Please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, as the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you to both the Davis County High School RLTC and the Owensboro High School Chorale. Thank you so much. To welcome us officially tonight, please join me in welcoming Davis County Judge Executive Al Mattingly.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Before I give you an official welcome, as I listened to the young folks sing the Star Spangled Banner and saw the colors presented, I looked around the crowd, and there are lots of men and women out here who served in the military to preserve our right to do exactly what we're doing today, and to do what we're going to do a week from this coming Tuesday, which is to vote. So if you can, if you served in the military, stand up. If not, wave your hand. If you can't do that, just yell real loud. Everybody that served in the military. Since 2013, it's been my pleasure and privilege to welcome folks to the People's Place. The Hager family, friends of the Hager family, were very generous and donated this particular spot. And the Hager family was a very charitable family, did lots for this community in the years past, and I think it's very appropriate that their name be attached to the People's Place. And every year when I welcome you here, I ask, do you know of a prettier green space in all of downtown Owensboro than this courthouse lawn? And I would dare say, no, you do not. So with me, no, louder than that, no, we do not. And it's all because of Jerry Alms and his crew. Jerry, where are you? Raise over here. Jerry takes care of it, plants the flyers, does all that. And he set the sound system up, so Jerry, thank you. And it is my pleasure and privilege as Davis County Judge Executive, kind of as the caretaker of the People's Place and this lawn, to welcome you here to observe some of the most basic functions in our free elections, and that's to have the candidates come up, tell you what they think, tell you what they believe. And I appreciate the crowd that's here tonight. Encourage your friends and your neighbors to go out and vote too. It's when we don't vote that things end up not going so right for us. Lastly, this will be my last time to welcome you here. Officially at the end of December, I will no longer be the Judge Executive. I'm sure that the next Judge Executive will enjoy this as much as I have. It's been my privilege and my pleasure to have served all the citizens of Davis County, and I want to say how much I appreciate you placing your trust in me for the last 12 years. So please be courteous to the candidates. No cat calls. You can do a lot of cheering. And Jacqueline, you said keep it clean. So hell raising is pretty clean. But, you know, let's be respectful of each side when they come up. Thanks.
You know, in 12 years, we could have just gotten him to come out of his shell a little bit. Thank you, Judge. We appreciate you and what you do for us. This event takes a lot of people to come about, and want to say a special thank you to the Greater Owensboro Chamber of Commerce, their board of directors, their chamber advocacy committee, and of course our sponsor, which is Big Rivers Electric. I'm going to ask CEO Bob Berry, President and CEO Bob Berry, to come up and to say a few things for you.
Thank you, Jacqueline, and I just want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here this evening. It's a privilege to once again sponsor the Chamber Red, White, and Blue picnic. This is an event that serves to educate you and inform you, the voters of Davis County. As the CEO and of Big Rivers, on behalf of the board, I want to extend my appreciation to all the elected officials and for those who have decided to run for office. We know what a sacrifice it is for you and your family. So thank you for taking action and believing in the community and wanting to make it better. Also want to commend the Owensboro Chamber of Commerce for keeping advocacy at the center of its mission and for hosting today's events. Jacqueline and Candace, thank you very much for keeping us on track. A little bit about Big Rivers. We're a wholesale. We're a, maybe it's my phone here. We're a generation transmission electric cooperative. We're owned by 3 distribution co-ops, Kenergy here in Henderson and Owensboro. We have Meade County in Brandenburg and Jackson Purchase in Paducah. Collectively, we serve 120,000 homes and businesses across 22 Western Kentucky counties. Are we okay? Yeah. So, and it's a pleasure to be here today, and again, a privilege. Want to remind you that you can vote, early vote in person on November the 3rd through the 5th, and then on November the 8th, obviously all the polls will be open for you to vote. So we ask you to please get informed, be educated, and please go vote. Thank you.
Thank you again to Big Rivers, Mr. Berry and all his team. I want to let you all know that the FOP is right over there. They have free food and they want to feed you. So we thank you to the FOP for being here tonight. And if anyone throughout the event would like to grab a snack, get something to eat, make sure that you head over there because I know that they have plenty. So I want to go over a few things with you before we get started tonight. First of all, we have our timekeeper, Miss Lottie Boone, right here in the front. So all of our candidates know that Lottie will be giving them their instruction and their cues during their speeches for the rest of the afternoon. Also want to say that we appreciate each and every candidate who is here and appreciate you all, that we will be very respectful of them when they're speaking. We will not heckle, we will welcome them, and we will not tolerate anything of the heckling sort. So thank you very much for being respectful of all of our candidates. Your candidates will be speaking today in the order that they appear on the ballot, and we will be starting with our district court judge candidates. Shannon Meyer.
Good afternoon, Davis County. I'm Judge Shannon Meyer, and I am one of 3 of your district court judges. I've been on the bench for about a year now, and I'm running to stay there because I absolutely love the work that I'm doing. I'd be honored for you to allow me to continue to serve as your district court judge. I'm passionate about Davis County, I'm proven in the courtroom, and I have integrity both on and off the bench. Owensboro is my home. I've raised my 3 children here. They're 22, 21, and now 17. I earned my undergraduate degree at UK and my law degree at U of L. I started my law practice here in 1998. After a few years, Bob Kirtley asked me to join his team over in the county attorney's office. It is our county attorney's office that is our district court's prosecuting office. So all of my 21 years of experience as a prosecutor was in that office. It provided me the experience that you deserve and prepared me for taking the bench back in January when Judge Burley retired. I'm asking the voters of Davis County to consider the qualities that make for a great judge. I'm proven, I'm professional, and I am considerate of everybody who comes into the courtroom. If I haven't yet had an opportunity to discuss personally with you with my qualifications, please call my office at 687-7217, and I invite you into my courtroom to see firsthand how I listen to both sides of the case and how I explain the basis for my ruling. You can come tomorrow, next Wednesday, or next Friday at 8:30, or the next 2 Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. I'm Judge Shannon Meyer, and I would appreciate your vote on November the 8th.
Nick Payne.
Hello, Davis County. My name is Nick Payne, and I am running to be your next district court judge. I'm running for this position that was opened up when Judge Burley retired from his judicial career, and I'm running because I see a need for a judge like myself. I'm born and raised in Davis County. I'm born and raised in Davis County. I'm from here. I graduated Catholic High in 1992 and then went on to Center College, then went on to UK College of Law. After that, I clerked for a judge for a couple years, getting experience in every area of the law. After that, I went and worked at the Public Defender's Office, where I defended indigent clients. And then I got the opportunity to come back to Davis County, my home, after 2 years, and be working in the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, where I've been the last 20 plus years. In that, I have the experience to be district court judge. I have a trial attorney where you think on your feet. That is what you need in a judge. You need someone that can know the law, that hears the law. When they have an objection, they can't say, oh, I need to research that. They need to rule and they need to know. I have been continuing my legal education every year with court updates, law updates. I've been endorsed because of my experience as a Commonwealth attorney by the FOP, who's providing the food here today. Thank you very much. But I was endorsed not because I give them what they want, but I give them what they need, which is sound legal advice. I also have the judicial demeanor to be the judge. I ran into a friend of mine that I worked at Kroger's with way back in high school, and the other day, and he said, you know, Nick, you haven't changed. And I said, looked at him kind of funny because I know I'm fatter, balder, and grayer than I was back then. But he said, no, you are a good guy. You're genuine, and that is what we need in district court judge. And I asked him, can I quote you on that? And he said, yes. So that's what I want. I want to be district court judge because I have the experience and the demeanor necessary to be a good judge. Thank you very much, Davis County.
That concludes our district court judge candidates. We will now welcome our family court judge, 6th Circuit, Family Division 3 candidates. Jennifer L. Hendricks.
Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Hendricks, and I'm running to be your Division 3 Family Court Judge. I believe my knowledge, my experience, and my work ethic is best suited to be your next Davis Family Court Judge. I went to Kentucky Wesleyan College. I went to Thomas M. Cooley in Lansing, Michigan. I studied overseas before I returned home. I passed the bar exam, moved back to Owensboro, Kentucky, and started my family. I met my husband. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I have a 6-week-old son. I've done over 3,000 cases here in Davis County alone. I work in other areas and other divisions in Kentucky, but in Davis County alone, I've done 3,000 cases. And what that means is I've been able to delve into every aspect of the law that I would be covering as your next Davis Family Court judge. And so respectfully, I ask for your vote on December 8th to be your next Davis Family Court judge. If you've not had the opportunity to meet me, I request and encourage you to come right behind you. I have the Ghostbusters theme booth for the Trail of Treats, and I ask you to come over and meet me and talk to me about my qualifications to be your next Davis Family Court judge. Thank you. And thank you all for attending tonight and learning about your candidates. It's very important to do that here in Davis County, especially during this very important time. Thank you.
Thomas L. Vallandingham.
All right. Hello, my fellow Davis Countyans, and thank you for coming downtown tonight, and thanks to Big Rivers and the Chamber for hosting this forum. If we haven't met yet, I'm Thomas Vallandingham, and I'm running to be your next Davis Family Court judge. Owensboro and Davis County is home. I was born and raised here. It nurtured me, educated me, provided me with life lessons through sports, lifelong friends. It supported my business here downtown, gives me a church home, and it gave me my wife, Adrian. Thinking about all these blessings that Owensboro has given me, I want to ensure that those same opportunities are available to every child that calls Davis County home. You all deserve nothing but the utmost from your public servants, especially when we impact your families and children. That is why I'm running for Davis Family Court judge. I'm uniquely qualified with the right temperament, knowledge, and experience to restore the faith and trust in Davis Family Court. I know the challenges Davis County families face. My families face them. I'll be a judge that if you come before me, I'll be able to relate to who you are and where you're from. I know the heartbeat of this community through my active involvement in church, sports officiating, serving on nonprofit boards, and even teaching at Brusha. I have extensive experience handling every type of case that can come before the family court. I've done it from all angles and all viewpoints. This gives me a well-rounded view of the law and my ability to balance both the rights of the parties and the goals of family court. I'm the only candidate who has experience from the opposite side of the bench. For over 3 years, I spent time in a well-ran family court, learning how to do things ethically, efficiently, and effectively. And I'll use that experience to benefit Davis County. This coupling of private practice plus judicial experience is what uniquely qualifies me to serve as your next Davis Family Court judge. With God's grace and your vote, I will work diligently to dispense justice fairly, equitably, and even-handedly. More information about me is available at my website. I'm Thomas Vallandingham. Thank you so much.
That concludes our candidates for Family Court Judge 6th Circuit, Family Division 3. We will now hear from our candidates for Family Court Judge, 6th Circuit, Family Division 4. Angela Thompson.
Good evening. I'm Angela Thompson, and I'm running for Davis County Family Court Judge for Division 4. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm married to David Thompson, and we have 4 grown children. I was born and raised here in Davis County. I went to college here in Davis County, and of course high school and college, and then I went to law school at Salmon P. Chase College of Law in Northern Kentucky. I have been practicing law, family law, in Davis County for 28 years. I've represented men, women, and children in all types of family law cases. I've seen their struggles. I've been with them as they have gone through the family court system. I've worked with them, I've heard their cries, and I understand our family court system. I also served as your domestic relations commissioner for several years, making the hard decisions in those family law cases. My vision is we need to bring justice back to our family court system, and that starts with integrity from the bench. And I will bring that integrity to the bench if I am elected. We need to make sure that we have fair and impartial decisions and that there are timely decisions so that you do not have to wait for a decision from the court. We need to play as a team if we're going to have a successful family court system. And if I'm elected, I will be part of that team that will make our system better. We need to do this for our families and our children of Davis County. With my decades of experience, along with my 100% commitment to you and your family and your children, I will serve you proudly if you elect me. And I will work every day to earn your confidence and trust in our family court system. Thank you for the time that you've given us today to speak, and I would appreciate your support on November the 8th. Angela Thompson, thank you.
Andrew Johnson.
Oh, I'm probably going to mess this up pretty good. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the Chamber for hosting. My name is Andrew Johnson. I'm running for Davis County Family Court Judge Division 4. I was born and raised here in Davis County. I graduated from Owensboro High School, went to Centre College, and then University of Louisville for law school. I'm married to a wonderful woman and have 4 children, all of whom attend schools currently here in Davis County. I'm running because, like all of you, I believe the children are the future of our community. I think if you look around right here, right now, most of us are from here, which means 20 years from now, 30 years from now, the children that are in school will be our future. We owe them and us the best opportunity we can give them. There's a number of challenges out there, but most, and what makes Davis County the best answer to those challenges start at home. And if we have good homes for our children, we will have a good community. To that end, I've been in private practice for 18 years. I have represented families and children at all levels of the court system, on all sides of the court system. I've sat also with families on the worst day of their lives and the best day of their lives. All people deserve a safe and happy place to grow up. I think it's important that we remember that most of the problems that we talk about inside a family courtroom aren't created in that room and require the entire community to help solve them. Schools, medical professionals, mental health professionals, sometimes social services, law enforcement. We have to be able to work together as a team to give the kids the help they need when they need it. Thank you. Vote Andrew Johnson, Davis County Family Court Judge Division 4.
We will now move on to our candidates for Circuit Court Judge. Lee A. Jackson.
Good afternoon. I'm Lee Jackson, and I'm asking for your vote for Davis Circuit Judge Division 1 in November. I was born in Owensboro and graduated from Apollo High School in 1989. I came back to Owensboro after law school, where I married my husband, John Barr, and we raised our son, Fletcher. He's now a sophomore at Indiana University. So the time was right for me to step up and run for circuit judge. I've been an attorney in Davis County for 22 years and served as a public defender full-time for the last 13. In November of 2013, I became the directing attorney of the local public defender trial office, where I manage as many as 19 people while carrying a caseload. My experience as a public defender has given me a unique understanding of the issues that face our community and lead people into the court system. Poverty, unaddressed mental illness, addiction, trauma. These are the things that I deal with daily in the trenches. While I don't have judicial experience, I do have 22 years in court in front of the bench on an almost daily basis. I have to deal with the hurdles that confront people in our community and the impact it has on all of us. I've seen while in juvenile court the uptick in juvenile violence and the impact that has on our community, and I'm working with community partners to try to find ways to curb and alleviate those issues. I have a unique understanding as well of the different options that judges have. Incarceration is sometimes necessary, but we can't incarcerate away our problems. We need to utilize community programs. I'm in jails and prisons frequently, visiting with my clients, and I work closely with community providers for substance abuse and mental health treatment. So I know there's a full range of penalties and rehabilitation available to people in our community. And rehabilitation has to be a part of what circuit judges do in order to curb and prevent recidivism in our community. If you'll vote for me, I will be patient, compassionate, and provide each and every person that appears in front of me the dignity and respect they deserve. Vote Lee Jackson, Davis Circuit Judge, Division 1.
I'm going to ask all of our Owensboro City Commission candidates to please make your way over to the area right over here, whatever that's called. Please welcome candidate J.A. Wethington.
Good afternoon. I'm Jay Wethington, and I'm running for my old position at Davis Circuit Court Division 1. I'm having a nice vacation, but I want to go back to work. My family wants me to go back to work, and I have stabilized the pension that I've earned with the Commonwealth, and they can't mess with it anymore. I'm running for Davis Circuit Court Division 1. My opponent has no experience in adjudicating complex criminal cases or complex civil cases. My opponent has no experience adjudicating complex family law issues and family trauma. I have been steadfast in service to this county throughout my career in protecting victims' rights, their security, and their rights to restitution. Since I began my service to Davis County, I had the great fortune to lead the board of directors of St. Joseph Peace Mission when we built the first home for troubled and traumatized children. I started the SANE nurse program when I was in the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. I also started the multidisciplinary team on child sexual abuse. I'm Jay Wethington, and I'm running on my record, my experience, and my personal integrity. Thank you. I know all of you all will get out to vote, but tell everybody you know to vote. Doesn't matter who you vote for, just vote. Thank you very much.
That concludes our candidates for Circuit Court Judge. We will now hear from our candidates from the Owensboro City Commission. Robert Morris.
Hello, I'm Robert Morris, candidate for Owensboro City Commissioner, #1 on the ballot with a 2-year plan. I want to see our law enforcement and first responders fully funded and 100% supported. I'd like to see a more diverse city government. I'd like to help pass a 10 p.m. curfew for minors 17 years of age and under. We need to separate our good youth from the criminals carrying guns and selling drugs. I'm for an ordinance that protects our senior citizens and the less fortunate. I'm not interested in building a $10 million boat dock at a time when inflation is at 8.5%, or putting a sportsplex next to an off-track betting facility. I'm interested in lighting our bridge across 2nd Street, the gateway to our downtown, washing, painting, and repairing the River Park Center and the Museum of Science and History, and putting an American flag on that cool flagpole that's on that museum. I'm interested in placing professionally built Welcome to Owensboro signs at all our major entrances to our city. Our city doesn't look very good right now. I'm interested in getting the downtown projects finished and getting affordable housing built downtown using multiple bid contractors, getting them done on time and on budget. We can't put all our eggs in one basket when it comes to these projects. There will be full transparency in regards to all city projects as well as to any city property being bought or sold. I will vote no on selling mega lots owned by the city to private LLCs. I'm interested in repairing Owensboro taxpayers' sidewalks, roads, and as well as maintaining city-owned properties to help keep our citizens safe. I have an idea to solve the York Park area drainage and flooding problem. I'm interested in passing a fairness ordinance that protects us all. I want it to be a written local law handled by local judges, not an interpretation by a politically biased Supreme Court. If this ordinance helps bring people together and spark economic growth, I'm for it. It's time for new eyes, ears, and boots on the ground in Owensboro, Kentucky. And I'm Robert Morris, number 1 on the ballot, and I'd be honored to be your city commissioner. Thank you.
Mark Caslin.
Hello, brothers and sisters of our beautiful city here. I want to thank the Chamber and Big Rivers for putting this on. It's always nice to have an event like this to come to. I also want to thank those who voted for me in the last election. My name is Mark Caslin. I'm the newest of the city commissioners here in Owensboro. I entered the last election to bring representation to the blue-collar working family. Also, I've been very active since I've been elected as a liaison between the neighborhoods and the City Hall. I'm here to represent all, and may I stress, all people in the city of Owensboro. I have and will continue to be a conservative. I try to spend your monies wisely, and notice that I said spend your money wisely, because it is your monies. I consider it a privilege to get to serve you, and I will always be transparent and open-minded on all issues. I've learned a lot in the past 2 years, but I still have some unfinished business that needs to be taken care of. Therefore, I ask you to vote for me on November the 8th. You won't see a bunch of advertising from me, as I'm not taking any political contributions. I've actually sent a few checks back to contributors. I feel this is a way for me to not be influenced in any way by any organization and to represent the people, straight out and not have any influence from any others. Also, I've been endorsed by the FOP, and I appreciate their endorsement. I really would appreciate your endorsement and appreciate your vote on November 8th. Thank you.
Jeff Sanford.
Some of us are a little bit taller than others, so I have to adjust the microphone. God, y'all look a lot better from the front than you do the back. Some good-looking people out here today. And thanks for coming. And I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce, Big Rivers, FOP for cooking, and I'd like to thank them for their endorsement also, and also the realtors. Thank you for your endorsement. I've stood here for many years, and I remember thinking back when I first got up here, none of this stuff down here existed. A lot of people were negative and against a lot of stuff that happened in Owensboro, but I can tell you today, without the things that we have done down here, I do not think Big Rivers would be here today. So I want to thank all the past mayors, the current mayors, and all the commissions I've worked with. The Chamber of Commerce, the county, everybody that had something to do with making Owensboro a great place to live. Also, I want to thank our police officers. We're in a time where, we're having some problems with kids and guns and drugs. It's going to take all of us to fix those problems. So working together is something that we're going to have to do. Is house by house, block by block. I've said this many times. We have got to get together and work. Churches and all of us, as we work together, I think we can make a big difference. I see great things coming to our community. Like I said, when the county, city, chamber, and all of us work together, a lot of good things happen. Henry Ford said, and I quote, coming together is the beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is success. And I think that's what we've done, and I'd like to continue. I ask for your vote on November 8th, and thank you very much for having us today.
Next on the ballot is Pamela Smith Wright, who was unable to attend tonight. We will now hear from candidate Bob Glenn.
Well, that ain't gonna work. Good evening. Good to see each and every one of you here on this beautiful evening. This in 2013 was named an All-American City, and I'm not sure everybody knows what an All-American City is. It isn't that you get the award because you're so wonderful and special. You in fact get it as a city for overcoming challenges, and right behind you was our challenge, our downtown. It looked terrible. And so I can't emphasize enough, it's also a symbol that your community comes together and addresses problems and solves issues of importance to its citizens. And I think as your commissioner over the last 4 terms, I've done that. I listen, I work hard, I come prepared to each and every meeting, and I ask the questions you want asked of those in authority. Over the last 2 years, I think we've done a great deal in our community to move our community forward. We've addressed flood control in the York area. We've worked hard to address gun violence. We're working with nonprofits like Western Academy and Breaking the Cycle. We're focusing on expanding our community's offerings with a sportsplex. We're also focusing on supporting our first responders, our police and fire. We've given reasonable pay raises to retain more police officers and firefighters. We've built new stations. We've developed new training facilities, and we are backing our first responders to the nth degree because we need to. They keep our community safe and are our heroes. The other issue is that our community always has challenges. We will build a new senior center. We're in the midst of being inches away from ending one process and starting another, or accepting the one we have. We're moving forward in terms of developing this community. We've paved more roads and sidewalks in the last year and a half historically than the city ever has. And I will just say that people in other communities look at Owensboro, and I've got news for you, they're envious of us. We have a great community with great amenities. We're a great place to live, work, raise a family, or retire. We are a shining city on a river, and I am proud and humbled to represent you. So I would ask strongly for your support on November 8th so I can continue to represent you and we can continue the momentum that we're moving forward with in this great city of Owensboro. Thank you for your time.
Larry Maglinger.
Good afternoon. I want to thank the Chamber and Big Rivers Electric. I'm Larry Maglinger. I'm running for re-election as your City Commissioner. It's an honor to serve Owensboro. I want to continue the progress that I've been a part of in the last 4 years. I've been involved in keeping the city safe, growing, and financially sound. This year, we added over $2.4 million to our general fund without raising taxes. Businesses have committed to Owensboro over $75 million, and that will create 250 new jobs. And I'll tell you what, you look down the street and there's Big Rivers Electric, and that is one of those companies, and I want to thank them. I'll continue supporting our police, firefighters, first responders, and all of the city agencies that provide the services that makes Owensboro a great place to live. I have the experience, the vision, and the ability to keep moving our city and community forward. I'm number 6 on the ballot, and I ask for your vote, and thank you.
Deborah Philman.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming. I'm Debbie Philman. I'm running for Owensboro City Commission, and I'm running because of you and your neighbors and your friends and your colleagues. Obviously, you're here because you love this community and you're excited about this community, and I am too, and I think there's even more potential for this community, and again, that's why I'm running for City Commission. I'm a proven leader here in Owensboro. I retired from the Green River District Health Department, where I served as director for over 9 years, but I was employed there for 35 years. I moved to Owensboro to work at the Green River District Health Department after I graduated from Western Kentucky University about 40 years ago, and I came here and I stayed because this community was such a great place for my husband and I to make our homes. As my work with the Green River District Health Department, I knew how to do a budget that was large. I had a large staff. I collaborated with organizations, so I'm very experienced in that capacity. I also have leadership experience through my work in my professional associations and other organizations throughout this community. I'm also community-centered. I've served on a number of nonprofit boards and volunteered with those, and I continue to do that today. My goal is that we have a safe community, we have a healthy community, and by healthy I mean we have education opportunities, we have transportation, we have affordable housing, and that we have a progressive community that gets our young people engaged and wanting to move back to this community like I did when I graduated from college several years ago. So I hope you remember me on November the 8th. I'm number 7 on the ballot. Thank you so much.
That concludes our candidates for Owensboro City Commission. Do want to take the time for those of you who are just now arriving to let you know that the FOP is stationed right over here, and they have lots of food and it's free, and they would love to treat you to dinner tonight. So thank you all for doing that. We will now hear from our candidates for Davis County Commission Central Division. Larry Conder.
Did everyone hear what Jacqueline just told me when I walked up? She said, now you behave. Hard to do. So I'll start off in reverse of what I was going to talk about. You know, we've talked so often about us mattering, about us showing up, about Frankfurt being so easy to say no to us, and Washington, D.C. making it so easy to say no to us. Here's how each and every one of you can make a difference. Vote. We cannot have a voter turnout less than 40%. No more. We can't do that. We have to be more than 40%, because if you don't do that, every person in Frankfurt and Washington, D.C. says, if you don't care, why should I care? So it makes a difference for you to tell your friends, tell your family, bring your kids, make it a life event that you go vote. Now, Judge Mattingly told me to not talk about certain things, but you know what? There are certain hand signals you give to people. And here we go. Yes, we have some projects that are on the books right now that we're going to do, whether it be internet, RWRA, Habitat for Humanity, all of those issues, we're going to make sure they get done the right way for the right reason. We will address our jail situation. But one of the biggest projects that I think we need to really pay attention to are juvenile crime. We will have an opportunity, even though it's not a lot of money next year, of opioid funds. It's not a lot, but it's a start. We can send a signal to our people, especially our children, that we care, that we're going to hire someone that actually works and reports to the Drug Steering Committee, And we're going to commit to that for 10 years to make sure we change lives of our children and of our people. That we just don't talk about it and we pray about it, which is needed and necessary. But we're actually going to do something about it. Okay? Then we will go into some of those needs or some of those wants that we look at, whether it be an amphitheater and how that's to be done. And oh, by the way, let's really get a senior citizen bill. Let's go. Come on. Thank you very much. Everyone, please vote.
Tyler Sagador.
Hey friends, I'm Tyler Sagardoy. I'm Davis County born and raised, and I'm running to be your next county commissioner. I'm not the typical status quo politician. I speak straight talk on the issues that keep people awake at night, and I offer pragmatic solutions toward a better life for all. I'm a professional problem solver. I've worked as a business analyst, management consultant, operations executive in real estate, life sciences, finance, and in nonprofits. My job is to see what others miss. I've provided millions of dollars in value to my employers, but the reason they keep me around is because of who I am and what I bring. Integrity, creativity, compassion, traits that I will bring to the fiscal court as your next county commissioner. As county commissioner, I'll work tirelessly to bring better jobs, higher wages, and stronger unions to Davis County. I'll work to reduce street violence by reducing gun thefts, and I'll work to reduce gun thefts by promoting responsible gun ownership and raising awareness. A PTSD survivor myself, I'll work to expand local access to mental health services at a time when it's needed now more than ever. I'll work with community leaders to provide affordable childcare to low-income families. I'll work to build a new senior center that seniors actually want. I'll work to decriminalize the simple possession of cannabis. And because I believe people need to be who they are, I'll champion the fairness ordinance prohibiting LGBTQ discrimination. If you'd like to learn more about my story, please go to my website, tylerdcky.com. And if you just want to say hello or good luck, please reach out as well. I'm Tyler Sagardoy, candidate for County Commissioner, and I ask for your vote on November 8th. Thank you.
That concludes our candidates for Davis County Commission Central Division. We will now hear from our candidates for Davis County Judge Executive. Please note that each candidate will now have 3 minutes to speak. Charlie Caslin.
Good afternoon. It's been my pleasure to serve each of you for the last 12 years as your county commissioner. Prior to that, I served 10 years as a city commissioner. I love this community. I love the people that we are. And that's why I put my name on the ballot to be your next county judge executive. You might wonder, well, why would I vote for Charlie? Well, it might be because I've been endorsed by the FOP. That's important to some folks. It might be because I've been endorsed. I'm the only candidate that was endorsed by the ALPAC. Previously, it was a pro-life political action group. That's important to some folks. Perhaps that's your reason to vote for me. I've also been endorsed by the community. I'm drawing a blank on the name of it. It's a conservative group that supports family values and supporting families, and that's important to some folks. Perhaps you would vote for me because of my accomplishments as a county commissioner and as a city commissioner. As a county commissioner, there were several things that I inherited from the prior fiscal court. One is the flooding at Windcrest. We were able to take care of those people and relocate those people through FEMA grants. There were over 200 families that did not have potable county water. We were able to use co-severance dollars to help them get water lines laid to their homes. There were a number of streets that flooded. Highway 60, we lobbied our legislature in Frankfort to elevate Highway 60 because it was flooding, shutting off the community of Stanley, where I'm from. We got them to elevate that so that would not be an issue anymore. We did the same thing with Crooked Creek, which is one of our county roads. It flooded very much each time there was a downpour. I worked with the current fiscal court to get the insurance tax removed that was put on during the dark of the ice storm several years back. It was paid off 7 years early. If you're still wondering why you would vote for Charlie, I would say it's because I think I'm the best candidate. I've got a proven track record of accomplishing things that were planned, things that were laid out, and also things that popped up that we didn't even know were on the table, such as the citizens at Cedar Hill and Friendly Village that were in danger of losing their homes due to the treatment plants closing. I'd appreciate your vote November 8th. Thank you, and God bless you.
Bruce Kunze.
Good afternoon. It's good to see everybody out here. I want to thank the Chamber as well as Big Rivers for hosting this event. As always, I want to recognize my wife Susie for her being here and for the support that she's given me in this election as well as in other elections. I'm running for Davis County Judge Executive because I want our community to move forward. I'm not running because I need a job. I'm not running because I want a big salary. I'm running because I think we need leadership who looks forward, who's not afraid to make tough decisions. When I was a county commissioner, we did a number of things too. We built 2 fire stations. We built the WKUO building. We built a new soccer complex. Those are the easy decisions to make. The tough decisions to make are like supporting downtown development, which I did and my opponent did not. Tough decisions are supporting a smoking ordinance to protect our young people and to protect the health of our community, which my opponent said was not really a problem. We didn't need to act on that. It takes a vision to move us forward. My priorities are public safety, where I want to increase the salaries for our sheriff's deputies and our detention center employees. I want us to have the best cooperation we can possibly have between the city police and the sheriff's department. And I want us to have a good relationship with the city of Owensboro in general so that we know we're moving in the same direction together. I want to support pro-business legislation in Frankfort, and I want Frankfort to know what we have to offer and who we are. And I want to involve young people in local government through appointments that we make. I want to involve more women in appointments, and I also want to involve people of color in appointments that we make. We've got to take advantage of the expertise, the experience, and the perspective that people have in our community. In order for us to work together and to move things forward, we've got to take advantage of all the resources that we have. I believe in fiscal management. I want to keep property taxes low. I want to look at energy savings through solar panels on government buildings and also through electric semi-tractors at the transfer station that are used to haul trash from the transfer station to the landfill. I'd like for us to look at a countywide recycling program. Nobody's talked about that in years. Let's try to do some things that will move our community forward and will let other communities and people who live in different parts of this state and different parts of this country know that we are a community that is moving forward. I'm optimistic about what we can do. I want to be a leader who creates excitement in our community because I know we can do things. We don't need to compare ourselves to other communities. We just need to be the best that we can be here ourselves. Last thing I want to mention, there are only 4 voting places in Owensboro. So if you don't know where you're voting, I've got some cards over by the tree over here by my wife. Be glad to give you one of those if you're not sure where your voting is. I'm Bruce Kunze, and I ask for your vote on November 8th. Thank you so much.
That concludes our candidates for Davis County Judge Executive. We will now hear from our candidates for House Race District 13. Please note each candidate will have 3 minutes. DJ Johnson.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I wanted to take this unique opportunity to answer a question that I'm often asked. What do I do as a state representative? The answer to that question is that I listen, I learn, and I help where I can. Let me explain. Last year, one of our local school principals, Jeremy Cameron, described a situation that made it difficult for certain at-risk high school seniors to earn their GED. With Jeremy's help, I sponsored legislation that corrected that situation. And incidentally, for his efforts, Principal Cameron was honored as the Kentucky Administrator of the Year. So congratulations, Jeremy. You should clap for that. Earlier this year, I was asked to attend a meeting with Scott Williams, the president of OCTC, and Mark Marsh, the CEO of Owensboro Health. During the meeting, they presented their vision for a new healthcare training facility to be located in Owensboro. It was an amazing vision for a way to ease the critical shortage of trained and qualified healthcare professionals in our area. Working with Representative Miles and others, we obtained $38 million for the new Commonwealth West Healthcare Workforce Innovation Center, we're working on that title, which I predict will become the model for healthcare training not only in Kentucky, but across the entire nation. I want to say thank you, Mark, Scott, and your entire team. I learned that Davis County desperately needed a second family court judge. As a result, I sponsored House Bill 214, which created a new family court judge position not only for Davis County, but 8 other long overdue judgeships across the Commonwealth. House Bill 214 is now law, and just a few minutes ago you heard from candidates competing for both family court judgeships here in Davis County. Whoever wins, it will mark a fresh start for our family court system. Good luck to all those candidates. And while I'm proud of these and other accomplishments this past legislative session, that was yesterday. It's time to look to tomorrow. Why should you re-elect me? First, I can guarantee you that I will continue to fight for the same issues I have since day one. I will fight for fiscal responsibility. I will vote for balanced budgets and stand firm on our plan to continue lowering the state personal income tax until it is zero. And that starts with lowering the rate to 4.5% on January 1st of this coming year. I will stand strong on the core values that most Davis County citizens believe in. I will protect our constitutional rights and our freedoms, especially the right to life and our Second Amendment rights. Count on that. But more specifically, I will be working at the state and local levels to curb the increase in youth violence we see today. This is a complicated topic that I can't discuss in detail here, but it will be a priority. We must do everything necessary to solve this growing problem, and we must protect our children. I'd like to go into much more detail, but I have 3 minutes. I will end by saying, walk with me as we continue the progress we started 6 years ago. I ask you to vote for the right Johnson, DJ Johnson, when you vote this November. Thank you.
Michael Johnson.
All right, good afternoon, Davis County. All right, good to see everyone here. I'm Michael Johnson, and I'm running for state representative for District 13, a district that I love, each and every one of you. You're in my heart. I'm running because I love Davis County. I love the people of Davis County. I love the state of Kentucky, and I want the state of Kentucky and Davis County to be the best it can be. And I want to make sure that. That's why I'm running, because I want to see our families thrive and succeed. Another reason that I'm running. Born and raised right here in Owensboro, Kentucky, my single parent who raised me and my brother, worked 2 and 3 different jobs trying to make ends meet. I watched her struggle. I watched her fight for a minimum wage. And how many of you know we're still fighting for a living wage? I believe in a living wage. that all Kentuckians can agree upon. And education is at my heart. Right now I serve as Vice Chair of Owensboro City Schools, where I have an inside view of our educators and the struggles that they have to make sure that our children are educated so they can be successful in life. It takes work, hard work. And during a pandemic that run rampant, we saw firsthand burnout and struggle. And now we see our teachers falling by the wayside, losing so many teachers in our educational system. This is not the time to cut funding for our public education, but it is a time to fund education fully and completely. Not the time to privatize it. Teachers are working too hard. They deserve a pay raise. And I'm glad to announce the governor's Education First plan that he just rolled out the other day. 5% pay raises for teachers. It's coming. That's why you got to vote for me, Michael Johnson, for State Representative, District 13. Another thing is our health care. We have to have accessibility to affordable health care. We need that more than ever now, as we see all these things happening, inflation, costs rising everywhere. So we need cost of living allowances raised. Those of pensions and retirements have to be focused upon as well. These are the focuses that will help each and every Kentuckian survive and strive. That's who you need, a representative that understands the needs of the people, a representative that is connected to the people, a representative that's on the ground. I have a nonprofit organization that helps low-income families and the homeless throughout Owensboro and Davis County. That's what we do. We do it every day. I don't go talk to people, just talk to them. I work with them. And that is the key, to have a representative for Davis County. I'm Michael Johnson, running for State Representative for District 13. I appreciate your vote on November the 8th. Thank you.
That concludes our candidates for House Race, District 13. We will now hear from our candidates for United States Congress. Each candidate will have 5 minutes. Appearing first on the ballot is Brett Guthrie, who had a scheduling conflict and is unavailable to be here tonight. Hank Lindeman.
Let me know when you start the clock. Ready, set, go. All right. Let me hear you say yeah, Owensboro. One more time, let me hear you say yeah. All right, look, I'm really happy to be here. I love this event, and thank you for the Chamber for doing it. I'm sorry Brett couldn't be there. He doesn't seem to show up whenever I show up, but that's the way it is. Look, I tell everybody I'm a damn Democrat, but I'm a working person, and I think we need more working people in our government. When we talk with working people, I'm talking about construction workers, factory workers, folks who work in the grocery store, healthcare workers, musicians, teachers, farmers. We're talking to most of America. We're talking to black Americans, white Americans, young, old, left, right, all genders, all religions, most Americans. And as our prosperity has increased, somehow working people have been left out of the bargain. And that needs to stop. So that's my promise to you. If you put me into Congress, my focus will be, how will this help working people? Now, I talk to Republicans all the time. In fact, I go to Republican events. My neighbors are almost all Republicans. Several of them let me know they vote for me. They say, don't tell anyone, so I'm not allowed to share their names. But they'll drop whatever they're doing if I need any help, and only one of them calls me a communist to my face. He has Social Security and Medicare. He really likes that, though, so I think we have a difference of opinion on that. But the reason I mention this is that I think we are suffering in the United States from division that is worse than I've ever seen in my life. By the way, I tell people I'm 9 years from being 60. One lady said, "You're 51, you look awful." I'm actually 69. That relates, by the way, if I'm elected, I will only serve 3 terms, which is a total of 6 years. I don't promise to serve all 3. And whatever happens in November, I will be running again. This is a very difficult job because we're trying to unseat an incumbent, and incumbents get reelected pretty handily. Now, when I talk with Republicans, I look for things that we can agree with. When I talk with everyone, and something everyone seems to agree with is when I say neither one of our parties is doing a great job for the American people. That's 100%. I've also noticed that Republicans don't really want any advice or criticism from Democrats, and Democrats don't really want advice or criticism from Republicans. So that means if we're going to connect our parties back to the people, in the Republican Party, that's a job for Republicans. In the Democratic Party, that's a job for folks like me. I'm working to change the Democratic Party in two ways. First, as I've said, to reach out to the biggest group of voters. That's people who work. That's us. That's 90% of the country. And the other group we need to reach out to are the most overrepresented group of voters in the country. This is rural voters. They get double the legislative representation that city folks do. Now, unfortunately, all they have been given by Republicans is God, guns, gays, and gynecology. They haven't really done anything about hospitals that are closing, or wages that aren't high enough, or workplaces that aren't safe enough. They haven't done anything about internet, which is pretty rough out in rural America. And we could make rural America a place where you could thrive, and it would ease prices of property in the city. It would make the world a much better place. So I am asking for your help. And also talk to your neighbors. This is another thing. I want to point out that with division causes or allows corruption. Corruption like my opponent. My opponent has gotten very, very wealthy being in Congress. And in fact, we've handed out some papers to demonstrate that to you. In fact, I would say that Brett Guthrie and his family have been the ones who benefited most from his time in Congress. Possible exception would be Big Pharma. Okay? That corruption causes inequality, social and economic. And then the inequality causes more division. How do we fix corruption? That's a big job. How do we fix inequality? That's a big job. But every single one of us here can work on healing division. And that's by the way we treat each other. We need to repair our American family. If you're a Democrat, talk to Republicans and talk about things you agree with. If you're a Republican, reach out to us. If you're independent, I understand why you're independent. You're disappointed in both of these parties. Well, I'm here to tell you, I will be there for working people in the 2nd District of Kentucky. I appreciate and love you all. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to be speaking before Charles Booker rather than afterwards.
That concludes our candidates for United States Congress. We will now hear from our candidates for United States Senate, also candidates receiving 5 minutes. Dr. Rand Paul was unable to attend due to a scheduling conflict. Charles Booker.
How y'all doing? It's good to see y'all. Y'all doing all right today? Well, my name is Charles Booker. I'm a former state representative, a lifelong Kentuckian, come from one of the poorest zip codes in the Commonwealth. I've seen a lot of adversity, but my faith has taught me to push through. I always knew joy came in the morning, especially when you work hard. And although I come from a big family, I realize that the people of Kentucky are my family. And so I am proud to be here today as your nominee for United States Senate. This is the privilege of my life. So I'm a father. I have 3 girls, my 3 bosses. And look, they mean everything to me. But right after them, being able to stand for you in this time of division, in this time where so many families are hurting, where we need to do the work of ending poverty and come together as family, as a Commonwealth, as a country, and fight for democracy, this is the privilege of my life. And I want to earn your support because I know what this moment means. This isn't just about running for office. It's not about a title. Our Commonwealth, our community, Owensboro, we all need change. And it requires leadership at the federal level that cares about us, that sees Kentucky as a priority and not an afterthought, that will treat us like we're worth investing in instead of selling out. So I commit to you, as your next United States Senator, I will be the vote to protect and expand your health care to make sure everyone has high quality health care so that nobody has to ration their medicine to stay alive. No one has to go bankrupt trying to afford a surgery. Healthcare is a human right. As your United States Senator, I will be a vote to invest in local business, to invest in our infrastructure, to do the work of bringing money back to Kentucky, your money, and making the government work for you. Now, we've seen a lot of news about wasteful spending. One thing I've noticed, and there was news today, that Shell Oil made $9.5 billion in profit in the last quarter, while gas prices are rising. What we've seen is a lot of corporate greed that has hurt communities across Kentucky. Meanwhile, small businesses, independent businesses have been struggling to stay afloat. I want to be a voice for you. And most importantly, send me to Washington to protect your human rights, protect your agency, your ability to make decisions over your life. And I want to be clear, that means on Amendment 2, we need to vote no. And look, this isn't about political party to me. Democrat, Republicans, Independents, we've all been getting screwed. We're all frustrated. We're all sick and tired of the division. And you all know, just like I do, nothing will change unless we do it together. I've had a message of saying we have to come together from the hood to the holler. Some of y'all have heard that from me. That is my way of saying that regular folks everywhere, no matter what we look like, the color of our skin, how much money we have, what our party is, we're connected. We have more in common than what divides us. And if we work together, we can make sure Kentucky isn't one of the poorest states in the country. Beyond anything, and I'm done here, I'm doing this because I love you. I'm going into the fire because that's what family does. My granddad taught me you fight for family. And you all are my family. I know we deserve better. And I'm going to go to Washington and fight for you, but I'm going to bring you with me because I'm tired of Kentucky being ignored. So we win this. We're going to open regional offices again. You're going to have an open door again, but you're going to have an accountable leader that's standing by your side when the storms come, when the crises hit. Let's protect Social Security. Let's stand up for our veterans. Let's invest in education and support our teachers getting the benefits they need. Let's do the work together, you all. Thank you for your support. Let me earn your vote, and let's make history on November 8th. Thank you.
That concludes our candidates for United States Senate and all of our candidates this afternoon. To all the candidates, thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your time with us. Also want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for coming out and engaging yourself and really hearing from your candidates. Want to say a special thank you to Davis County Fiscal Court, to the FOP, whom I'm sure still probably has some food left. They do. They say come over there, fill up your purse, put some in your coat pocket, take some food home. Also, of course, Big Rivers Electric, thank you so much for your great partnership. The Chamber of Commerce. As you leave, please drive slowly. We have lots of little ghosts and goblins making their way downtown for Trail of Treats. So thank you all so much for coming. Have a great night.